Hi viewers, welcome to நம்ம நிகழ்ச்சி. அண்ட் இன்னைக்கு பார்க்க போகிறது ஒரு ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டான டாபிக், நியூட்ரிஷன் அண்ட் டயட். இது ரொம்ப முக்கியமானது. அதுவும் இந்த காலகட்டத்தில் கோவிட் டைமில் வந்து ஆரோக்கியமாக இருக்கணும், ஹெல்த்தியாக சாப்பிடணும். அதுக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸ்பர்ட் மிஸ்ஸஸ் காஜல் பத்தீஜா இருக்காங்க. ஷீ இஸ் அண்ட் டயட் அண்ட் நியூட்ரிஷன் எக்ஸ்பர்ட் இன் சேலம் அண்ட் ஹோம் மேக்கர் as well. அவங்களோட ஃபேமிலி நல்லா பார்த்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. வணக்கம். Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Shashi.
Kajal and Anil Bathija both are very close friends of ours, and we are going to be talking about a very important topic, nutrition. So nutrition na enna, Kajal?
So nutrition is the process of taking in nutrients for a healthy body, and we are what we eat. So when a person is healthy, he is free of diseases and is very energetic. So to maintain that, to be an energetic and healthy person, we need to take a very well balanced diet.
Exactly, well said. ஸோ இப்போ வந்து இந்த நியூட்ரிஷனில் வெல் பேலன்ஸ் டயட் இருக்கணும். அதில் இந்த தேசே கார்போஹைட்ரேட்ஸ், ப்ரோட்டீன், ஃபேட், இந்த மாதிரி இதெல்லாம் இருக்கணும். என்ன டைப் ஆஃப் நியூட்ரியன்ஸ் இருக்குது அந்த டயட்டில்?
So ரெண்டு டைப் இருக்குது. One is macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients நம்ம பாடிக்கு கொஞ்சம் நிறையா வேணும், and micronutrients கொஞ்சம் கம்மி வேணும். ஆனால் this is very important. Macronutrients மூணு டைப் இருக்குது: carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So carbohydrates are basically energy giving foods. And they are very important for your brain function and the function of your muscles.
Fantastic.
So there are two types of carbohydrates. One is the simple carbohydrate and the other is the complex carbohydrates. So simple carbohydrates are the one which release blood sugar instantly. Like as soon as you have it, there's a surge of blood sugar. And these are your table sugar, your fruit juices. So it's always better to have complex carbohydrates because they are rich in fiber also. So complex carbohydrates are your vegetables, your fruits, your cereals, lentils. Carbohydrate is basically in everything we have except water. So if it's better, we choose complex carbohydrates. And next comes proteins. Proteins are basically the building blocks of body. They have a function in hormones, enzymes, and they make they form connective tissue for your skin, for your hair, and antibodies. So protein is also very important for us, and we get protein in milk, dairy, poultry, lean cuts of meat, eggs, and lot of other products like soy products and all that. Now coming to proteins, it's always nice to choose a protein which is good quality protein. And good quality protein means a complete protein. Protein is basically made up of 9 amino acids. And a good quality protein means which has all the 9 amino acids. And these amino acids have different function in your body. So it's always necessary to choose a complete protein. So complete protein, the people who are non-vegetarians get complete protein with the dairy and poultry and meats and everything. But for vegetarians, it's a little difficult. But yes, the soy products are very rich in proteins. They give you complete protein. So you can have soya milk, tofu, etc. to get that complete protein.
Fine. வேற என்ன வெஜிடேரியன்ஸ் தான் இப்போ வந்து தேர் ஸ்ட்ரகிளிங் டு ஃபைண்ட் ப்ரோட்டீன் அண்ட் ஃபேட். எந்தெந்த உணவில் அப்பார்ட் ஃப்ரம் சோயா நீங்கள் சொன்னீங்க, வேறு எதில் வந்து ப்ரோட்டீன் ஃபேட் இருக்குது?
You will get proteins from nuts, from pulses and millets. So but then again that is not milk products, yes,
to some extent.
Yeah, basically these are not complete proteins. The proteins found in nuts and pulses and the other sources are not complete proteins. So only soya gives you complete proteins. There are amino acids missing in nuts and other seeds and all that. So if you want to get the complete amino acids, then you need to combine nuts with something else, you know. You need to combine 2-3 kind of foods to get complete proteins.
So and regarding fats,
Yeah.
good fat, bad fat,
So
saturated, unsaturated.
yeah, so fat is the third macronutrient, and this is again energy giving like carbs, and it also provides cushioning to your internal organs and is necessary for cell growth. So there are 4 kinds of fats: the trans fat, saturated fat, monounsaturated fat, which is known as MUFA, polyunsaturated fat, also known as PUFA. Trans fats are again vegetable fats, that's vegetable oils, which have been hydrogenated to a very high extent, and they are hydrogenated because to improve the shelf life of the goodies and to give a good taste. So these are highly processed fats and they are just not good for you. So it's better to omit that, like maybe just have it once in a way, you know, once in a blue moon or something. And these fats are solid at room temperature and on refrigeration. The second type of fat is the saturated fat, which are also solid at room temperature and on refrigeration, and they are not really required by the body except that they have a small function in cholesterol. They synthesize cholesterol, but again our body also makes cholesterol. And one thing I want to bring to your notice is that cholesterol is not entirely bad. It's a precursor in the synthesis of bile acids, steroid hormones, etc. So it's not bad, but then too much of cholesterol is bad. So your saturated fat intake should be like about 10% from your total fat. So that's about saturated fat. Saturated fats are present in all animal fats are saturated fats. So dairy, your cream, your ice cream, your sour cream, and butter, ghee, everything is
Meat as well?
Meat as well, yes. Poultry skin and those fatty cuts of meat, not the lean ones. So they all have saturated fats, which are not heart healthy. Trans fat and saturated fats are not heart healthy. They increase your LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, and cause a blockage of arteries. So it's better not to have trans fat, and if you're having saturated also, just like very little, just 10% of your total fat should be from your saturated fat.
So trans fat na வந்து பேசிக்கா எங்க இருந்து வருதுன்னு சொன்னீங்க?
This is margarine,
Margarine
and dalda.
dalda. Okay.
So please avoid
and the
these.
other oils like refined oil.
No, that comes under MUFA and PUFA.
Okay.
So that's about it. But in saturated fat, now this is the much controversial fat, the coconut oil. Like before they said that this is like, you know, coconut oil, any saturated is not good. But then later, after all the research was done on this oil, they realized it is saturated but it has lauric acid. And this is good for raising your HDL, that is your good cholesterol in the blood.
Right.
So if you see people of Kerala, they are very healthy. They live a long life because they have a lot of coconut oil. So you can have some amount of coconut oil.
Good. So எதா இருந்தாலும் ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தியா இருந்ததுன்னா அது உடம்புக்கு நல்லது இல்லை அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. எதா இருந்தாலும் லிமிட்டட் குவான்டிட்டி
கொஞ்சம் தான் எடுத்துடணும். எது இருந்தாலும் ஓவர் எக்ஸஸ்ல எதுவும் நல்லா இல்லை.
இந்த ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டான ஒரு கொஸ்டின் வந்து இந்த ஆயில்ஸ் வந்து என்னென்ன டைப் ஆஃப் ஆயில்ஸ் நம்ம குக்கிங்கில் இருக்குது அண்ட் எந்த ஆயில் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணலாம், என்ன யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது?
Okay, so I'll just before this question I will just come to the MUFA and PUFA. That is the monounsaturated fat and polyunsaturated fat, and both these are very heart friendly. They are the heart friendly oils, and they increase your HDL and reduce your LDL. They are also important for the function of your brain. So coming to monounsaturated fat, you get your monounsaturated from avocado, nuts, peanut oil and peanut butter, and polyunsaturated fat are again divided into 2 others, like, you know, omega-3 fatty acids, and they contain omega-3 fatty acids and omega-6 fatty acids. Now omega-3 fatty acid is not synthesized by your body and it has to be taken from an external source. So all these fatty fish, they are very rich in, like salmon, tuna, trout, are very rich in omega-3 fatty acids. And when it comes to vegetarian, kale, spinach, chia seeds are good sources of omega-3. But again, vegetarians need to up their intake, probably take a supplement or something. And again, omega-6 fatty acids, these are present in sunflower seeds, sunflower oil, safflower oil, corn oil, and flax seeds, walnuts. So these are very good sources, and they are very important for your heart health. So these are about the 4 kinds of
The
fats.
SUFA is available in all these seeds as well?
Yes.
Okay, fine. And then regarding the oil, which is you said little about coconut oil for cooking. What are the other oils which are
So
good
there are a
for-
lot of oils in the market. Now, how do you choose which oil is the best for you? So whenever you're choosing an oil, you should keep the mode of cooking in mind. Suppose you want to do high heat cooking, like deep frying and roasting and baking, then you need to choose oils with high smoke point. And for salads, you can use the virgin oils, the unrefined versions, which also impart a little taste of their own to the foods. And for again the stovetop cooking, you can use oil which has a smoke point of 120 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. What is this smoke point? You've told a little about smoke point. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. So smoke point of oil is that point at which the oil starts burning and smoking, and this is the point at which it degenerates and forms carcinogenic substances. When the oil reaches its smoke point, it destroys the vitamins and phytochemicals present in the oil. So we have to make sure that we don't burn the oil. That's why it's not advisable not to have fried food outside. And even when you're frying at home, make sure you don't use that oil too many times. You know.
So அந்த oil வந்து even if it is cooled and திரும்ப reuse பண்ணாலும் it is degenerated. That's
Yes.
all. Once degenerated,
Yes,
it's gone.
it's gone.
So
So actually at home we don't bring the oil to that point because we're always monitoring it, and so at home it's a little safer than outside, but it's advisable not to keep reusing the same oil.
So then the chips also is of the same category then?
If you're making chips at home, then it's okay, but again from outside, then because they will not throw away the oil and they'll keep frying in the same oil, and the quality of oil goes down when you do that. So
Right.
there is no vitamin, minerals, nothing. You don't get anything good. In fact, you get something bad, like carcinogenic substances are produced.
கேன்சர் வர்றதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு அதிகம் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. நம்ம அந்த திரும்ப திரும்ப ரீயூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க இல்லையா அந்த ஆயில், நம்ம பஜ்ஜி போண்டா போடுறதுக்கு, சிப்ஸ் போடுறதுக்கு திரும்ப திரும்ப யூஸ் பண்ணுறப்போ கேன்சர் வர்றதுக்கு அது வந்து ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு காரணமாக இருக்குதுன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி பொருட்கள்லாம் நம்ம சாப்பிடாமல் இருக்கிறது நல்லது. ரிகார்டிங் குக்கிங், நீங்கள் வந்து என்ன மோட் ஆஃப் குக்கிங்கில் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணோம்? முதல்லலாம் வந்து ஸ்லோ ஹீட்டில் தான் குக் பண்ணுவாங்க. இட் வில் பி லைக் இந்த விறகடுப்பில் குக் பண்ணுறப்போ இட் வில் பி ஸ்லோ ஹீட்டிங். ஸோ தட் I have been told that tastes better than this ரொம்ப சீக்கிரமாக நல்ல ஃப்ளேம் பெருசாக வச்சு நம்ம குக் பண்ணுறதில்ல.
Yes, that's
Can
right.
you tell a little about that?
Actually, basically, if you slow cook, then the vitamins are retained. Some vitamins are lost, like when in high heat cooking. So it's always better to cook your food in low flame and in iron vessels, that is earthen vessels. Like they also impart some nutrients to the dish.
Okay, lovely. So slow heating is always good அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. Then regarding water, ரொம்ப முக்கியமானது. தண்ணி எப்போ குடிக்கணும், எவ்வளோ குடிக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறது நிறைய பேர்த்துக்கு ஒரு டவுட்டாகவே இருக்குது. Can you tell about?
Yes. So water makes up for 60% of our body, and how much water is required to us depends on the climate, our activity level and sickness. If you live in hot and humid climates, then you need to take more water, and if you are someone who does intense exercise, then of course you need to up your intake of water. And if you are sick, like you have vomiting and diarrhea, food poisoning, then you need to up your intake. And even lactating mothers, since they are feeding, they need to increase intake of water.
And during எப்போ there is a பெரியவங்கலாம் சொல்லுவாங்க, elders they tell சாப்பிட்றப்போ in between you should not take water அப்படின்ட்டு. What is the funda of once you start eating you should not take water? In the reason?
No, this is a myth, because water does nothing to your, because see, sometimes you have smoothies as your breakfast, so that doesn't mean that if you are having water, like smoothies are liquid, so that doesn't mean it will not get digested. So you can sip water in the middle of your meal also, there is no problem. In fact, your digestion will be better, but it's better not to gulp it down, because when you gulp it down, your digestive juices might get diluted, but that's not a problem, because the body keeps providing. Our body is such a beautiful thing, it keeps providing. So that for that, like a few seconds those juices will be diluted, but again it's going to come back on track. And why you shouldn't gulp is because you might take in a lot of air, which might cause bloating. So in that case, it's better to keep sipping water through your meal. Like,
right, good, that's a nice point. So now there is a thought that தண்ணி குடிச்சா வந்து பிபி கம்மியாகும் அப்படிங்கிறது. How true is it?
so basically our BP is controlled by hormones. And it's called the renal and endocrine hormones of the renal and endocrine system.
Okay.
So our kidneys provide that mechanism of BP. So whenever there is you're severely dehydrated, then your kidney sends a signal to your body and induces thirst. So when you have that, your BP is back on track. So it's not that you're having water will fluctuate your BP up and down. It's only when you're severely dehydrated, your kidney will send a signal to your brain. So once you have water, you're again back on track.
So there is one other regarding water, another point. Hot water with lemon காலையில குடிச்சா weight loss ஆகுது அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க, அத பத்தி கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க.
So lemon water in the morning, first thing in the morning, is a good thing if you are replacing your tea with lemon water. But because lemon water will give you like 6 calories, and a cup of tea made with whole made milk will give you around 200 calories. So the thing is, if you are cutting your tea and having lemon juice, then very good. But if you are having your lemon water and you are doing everything like the way you do it, then definitely not. But having lemon water also has a lot of other benefits, like it kickstarts your digestion and it gives you vitamin C, which is known as the elixir of youth. So vitamin C is good for your skin and it heals your wounds. So some amount of your vitamin C will be provided by lemon water in the morning. But if you want to lose weight, then there's no shortcut. You have to create a calorie deficit.
Okay. So நீங்க வெயிட்டை குறைக்கணும்னா வெறும் ஹாட் வாட்டர் அண்ட் லெமன் மட்டும் பத்தாது, உங்களோட ஜென்ரல் இன்டேக் சாப்பிட்றதையும் வந்து கொஞ்சம் கம்மி பண்ணணும், அண்ட் பேசிக்லி கார்போஹைட்ரேட்ஸ் சாப்பிட்றத கம்மி பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அண்ட் இன்னொன்று எக்ஸசைஸும் பண்ணணும்.
Definitely, exercise is a must.
So another thing, நீங்கள் யங்காக இருக்கிறத பற்றி சொன்னீங்க, விட்டமின் சி வந்து சாப்பிட்டா யூத்தாகவே இருக்கலாம் அப்படின்ட்டு. இதை கொஞ்சம் முன்னாடி சொல்லியிருந்தீங்கன்னா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நான் நிறைய சாப்பிட்ருப்பேன். இப்போ இந்த ஆன்டி ஆக்சிடென்ட்ஸ் ஆல்சோ ஆர் தே சே they are free radical scavengers. ஸோ அதை வந்து அந்த ஏஜிங்கை வந்து ஆன்டி ஏஜிங் அப்படின்ட்டு. ஸோ ஆன்டி ஆக்சிடென்ட்ஸ் பற்றி கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்கள்.
Okay, so antioxidants are something which get our body rid of free radicals. Now free radicals are basically atoms of oxygen which have an unpaired electron. So they are like free in the bloodstream, roaming in the bloodstream. And these are not good for your body because they can again cause cancer, heart disease and Alzheimer's. So if you have antioxidants, that takes care, it lends an hydrogen atom, like whatever foods you are having rich in antioxidants will lend the hydrogen atom to the oxygen and it will pair it up. So when it's paired up, it's not dangerous anymore. and you will get your antioxidants from all colored vegetables. Please make sure that you have a lot of colored vegetables in your diet, like brinjal, beetroots. You can just get it from the normal your local market, and just make sure you add a lot of colors to your diet.
Lovely.
And vitamin C, E and beta carotene are all antioxidants which you get from these vegetables and fruits.
So in the antioxidants, fruits, vegetables எல்லாத்துலேயுமே இருக்குதுன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ அதை நிறைய சாப்பிட்ணும். அண்ட் நீங்கள் காய்கறி கடைக்கு போனீங்கன்னா எதெல்லாம் கலர்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கிற ஃப்ரூட்ஸோ அதெல்லாம் எடுத்து நீங்கள் போய் சமையல் பண்ணி சாப்பிட்லாம். ஒரு பச்சையாக சாப்பிட்டிங்கன்னா இன்னும் நல்லது. நல்லா கழுவிட்டு பச்சையாக சாப்பிடணும். இன்னொரு ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் பாயிண்ட், இந்த கழுவுறது எதை வச்சு கழுவணும்? பிகாஸ் இங்கே இந்த கோவிட் டைமில் லாட் ஆஃப் மீனிங் இந்த WhatsApp messages keep coming, baking soda வச்சு கழுவணும், hot water, this and that. What do you do?
I actually used to clean it with turmeric and salt. Even baking soda is good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. இந்த மைக்ரோவேவ் ஓவனில் நம்ம குக் பண்ணால் இப்போ வந்து கேன்சர் வரும்னு சொல்கிறாங்களே, அது உண்மையா பொய்யா?
Microwave is always associated with radiation. And radiation has become a bad word. Like whenever anything is associated to radiation, people think it's cancerous. But let's understand what is radiation first. Radiation is when a source is emitting energy. So sun gives you radiation in the form of heat and light. Human bodies give radiation, and your cell phone, TV, dish antenna, your halogen bulbs, your night vision goggles, everything gives radiation. And these radiations are non-ionizing. They are at the lower end of the electromagnetic spectrum. So as you see in this, like all the dish antenna, the TV, the radio waves, everything in the lower side of the spectrum, and these do not cause your cells to lose an atom, and in simple language, this cannot cause cancer. When it comes to microwave, it uses electromagnetic waves, which has a wavelength of 12 centimeters, which is well within the approved limits. So microwave basically heat up the water molecules in your food, and this causes the food to heat up. So there is no radiation there, but you have to keep a few things in mind before you use a microwave, or while using a microwave, that the door should be completely shut and there should be no leakages. And most important point, that one should use microwave friendly dishes for cooking, because if you use the normal plastic, then it's going to seep in harmful chemicals in your food. So when it's made only for the microwave, nothing like that happens, and it's totally safe.
Fantastic. Well said. Good. Anything else you want to tell the audience?
Yeah, and there is also a myth around microwaves, that your nutrients get destroyed in microwave, which is again not true. Any kind of cooking will destroy some amount of vitamin C, proteins. So that's again, heat basically destroys these vitamins and proteins. So it's not the microwave, it's the heat.
So any kind of cooking does to some extent damage or destroy the vitamins, you said.
Yes.
So microwaves பண்ணுறதுனால மட்டும் அது ஒன்றும் கெடுதல் இல்லை அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு யாருக்காவது வாங்கணுன்னு இது இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருந்ததுன்னா டெஃபினட்டாக நீங்கள் ஆஃப் பண்ணலாம். அண்ட் ஸோ இப்போது கம்மிங் டு fermented food. So fermented food order benefits and advantages, disadvantages.
Okay, so fermented food basically is a very ancient practice. It's a traditional method of preserving food, and what happens in fermentation is that the food is allowed to sit and steep in a medium, and under anaerobic conditions, the bacteria and microbes are formed in the food, which change the chemical composition of the food. So basically your carbohydrates and your sugars are getting converted to lactic acid, alcohol and effervescence. It gives out effervescence. When you're fermenting food, there will be effervescence, and it will also let off the heat. So whenever we have fermented food, they are supposed to be cooling for the body. Like our grandmothers, even here I think in Tamil Nadu, people have kanji soor, which is fermented food. You put your rice in earthenware and cover it, and next day morning they have. Those are like really wonderful things what our ancestors have given us, and they have so much of health benefit. So it's really nice. And Dr. Shashi, I remember like my granny also, you know, she used to make pickle. So she used to, you know, take a ceramic bowl and then a jar, sorry, and then she used to put mangoes with salt and thing, and she used to close that lid with cloth and keep it in sun. And we used to be like waiting, you know, when we are going to have that pickle. But it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to give it like 5-6 days. So they used to do that, and you know, that is healthy because it goes through that fermentation, it becomes healthy. So they are very good for body.
Buttermilk,
Yes.
curd.
Curd. See, they
pickles.
always, in South India, they always have, they finish a meal with curd rice because that digests your food well, and it'll keep all the digestive problems at bay, like indigestion, constipation, and gas, and acid reflux. So these are very like good bacteria which go into the system, and they do a world of good to you. So please opt for fermented food. We have a lot of fermented foods like in India, like idli, dosa, dhokla. Try to have those. You know, anything which is made of vinegar is not fermented. So please keep that in mind. Like people get confused with pickles made out of vinegar. So no, we can have the normal fermented pickles, but not the vinegar ones.
Good. ஸோ நல்ல பாக்டீரியா அந்த ஃபர்மெண்டட் ஃபுட்டில் கிடைக்குது. ஸோ கம்மங்கூழ், மோர், தயிர், பிக்கிள்ஸ், தோசை, இட்லி, பிரெட், இது எல்லாமே நீங்கள் சாப்பிட்லாம், நல்லது அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஹோல் வீட் பிரெட் சாப்பிட்றங்க, மைதா பிரெட் சாப்பிட்றதோட.
So fermented foods are rich in probiotics, and probiotics are the gut-friendly bacteria, and they help you in innumerable ways. So firstly, what they do is they make you, they are mood enhancers. They make you feel really good because your gut has a connection with your brain. So you know, whenever you have probiotic, your mood is instantly better, and it raises your immunity. It also helps in giving you minerals which build your bone density. It kills harmful pathogens like Salmonella and E. coli in the gut. So, and it also improves the nutritional value of food. Like your mineral content increases when you have probiotics, and lot of other benefits. So it's very good, but too much of fermented food is also not too good, like the ones which are high in sodium and sugar, like kimchi, kombucha. You know, these foods like kimchi is a little high in sodium and spices, and kombucha is high in sugar.
What are
So these are from Korea.
Best time to have dinner? ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு கொஸ்டின், எனக்கும் டவுட் இருக்கு.
Okay. So you should always try to finish your dinner by 6 or 7. Or at least if you are someone who is working late, so you should always try to finish your dinner 2 hours before your sleep time.
So that's fine. So நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம் ஏர்லியாகவே சாப்பிட்டிங்கன்னா டைஜஷன் நல்லது. ஒரு கொஞ்ச நேரம் சாப்பிட்டதுக்கப்புறம் கொஞ்சம் ஒரு 10 நிமிஷம் நடந்துட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்கள் போய் படுத்திங்கன்னா நல்லாயிருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ஸோ
you can also sit in Vajrasan. It's a yogic pose. You can sit in that. That helps in digestion. Just stroll around for a while. கொஞ்சம் நடக்கலாம்.
ஸோ உங்களுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி கொஸ்டின்ஸ், உங்களுக்கு நிறைய டவுட்ஸ்லாம் இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். உங்களோட கமெண்ட்ஸ் இதில் போடுங்க கீழே, அண்ட் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள் இந்த சேனலுக்கு. அண்ட் வேறு ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருந்ததுனாலும் நீங்கள் போடுங்க. இன் part 2 of this nutrition program நாங்கள் உங்களுக்கு ஆன்சர் பண்ணுறோம். அண்ட் signing off from here is Dr. Sashi Kumar and Kajal. Thank you.
Thank you.